So we're going to be checking out another video from the GOAT Tsiah 4. I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. Let me know how to pronounce it correctly. This is How Strong is Shirou Emiya at Full Potential? I don't really know how to answer that because I'm not really the type of person who looks at the exact stats, which I will give one thing to the Ufotable adaptations for Fate. They don't really do a good job of relaying to you the exact stats of each servant and character. So on that end, it kind of goes over my head, but I'm here to get educated, so let's get into this video.
Alright, so a couple of videos ago, you guys were asking for a video of Shirou where everything goes right. So we ran the poll over on Twitter. It's unanimous. So here we go. Shirou's full potential. And if we're being completely honest, this is going to go a little bit further than that. Not only are we going to grade his full potential, but we're going to grade every possible aspect from his different variations as a whole.
Because it's easier to just say like, oh, he's full potential, that's Archer. I'm pretty sure it goes deeper than that.
Come up with. I'm here to tell you right now, this is gonna be ridiculous. So back in the third magic video, we were talking about how if Ilyasville's third magic wasn't incomplete, then Shirou would have basically become a god. So to drive that point home, in the case that she did do the complete version, he would be a god and become a perpetual motion machine, meaning that his magical energy is infinite because it just keeps on coming. And that's just to start things off. Okay, you look at both of the ends of Heaven's Field. We know that Shirou can project.
He did 1v1 Saber. I've heard.
Excalibur. We also had confirmation from.
Wait, what? What did he do, Excalibur? Hold on.
We know that Shirou can project Excalibur. We also had confirmation.
Well, he projected the Jewel Blade, so yeah, wouldn't be surprised if he projected Excalibur.
From before that Emiya could project Excalibur, but it would take so much energy out of him that he might as well not even do it because it would kill him. Shirou, on the other hand, doesn't have to worry about magical energy at this point. He can project Excalibur of his own volition, and with his reserves, he can use it to his heart's content. We even get a taste of this in Extella and Extra, where Emiya projects Excalibur because he has better reserves. We know that he has access to Ro-Ias, being able to take on some of the strongest hits in the verse.
That's crazy. And I'm pretty sure this is like a beginning Ro-Ias too. It's not, I'm pretty sure Archer's Ro-Ias in the second Heaven's Field movie was much stronger than this. So this is like a baby Ro-Ias, and it was still able to block Excalibur. That's crazy.
King Excalibur Morgan head on. He tanked Excalibur. Emiya was able to tank Ku's Phantasm despite all the energy and the momentum that he had behind it, and still survive. Of course, he'll have access to unlimited blade works, which is an entire reality marble. So you got this pocket dimension where everything is on his terms, and the fight would more than likely go in his favor. He has access to nearly every weapon that's ever existed in humanity. He can flawlessly project their replicas inside and outside the marble. They come out.
What animation is this? This looks crazy.
At a bare minimum
what is
of
this?
bullet speed, and have even been shown to have ranges higher than that. Another thing that we have to factor in is that this time around, Kiritsugu would have taught him everything that he needs.
Kiritsugu. That sounds cool. I'm gonna start pronouncing it that way.
No, so he would have been an expert by the time that he was 13. Cause you gotta think, Shirou started at a real young age. If he had the right guidance, it would have given him leagues of advantage. I mean, if you look at pretty much anybody in the world that starts a talent at a really young age, and they just practice relentlessly like he did, they're experts by the time that they're preteens. And you know, you can't leave out Shirou being Kiritsugu's son, so he would have his magic crest too.
Yeah, but he's not blood related. But I guess again, yeah, but you could transfer mana. But the only way I know how to transfer mana crest is, I'm not gonna say it, but they're not blood related.
Kiritsugu was able to get enough of his magic crest to pass down to Shirou, and then teach him magecraft in the right way at a really young age. He'd be unstoppable.
Also, yeah, I'm pretty sure Kiritsugu has a pretty like decent mana reserve. I mean, it's not nearly like, he's not like a top tier mage. I don't know actually, but his mana reserves is definitely better than Shirou's by the time Stay Night comes out.
He never stops training, ever. 2, he would gain Kiritsugu's time manipulation because again, you know, Kiritsugu has time alter. So he would have that too. He'd be able to manipulate his body in relation to time, speeding himself up, slowing himself.
That'd be really cool if Shirou was able to do that time thing on top of, you know, doing everything else, like unlimited blade works. Imagine unlimited blade works with the time thing. That'd be crazy.
Down and even freezing his own body if he has to. He would be an expert in weaponry. He would have pretty much been an expert in swords anyway, but the thing about Kiritsugu is that he's also a mercenary, so he'd know these tactics as well, being extremely equipped with using things like guns, surveillance, low-profile assassinations, drawing data, analyzing the situation. He kind of does a few of those things already, but this would take it to the utmost level. If you look at some of the things that he did in the Prismaverse, this was him.
Oh, this is the anime Prisma version.
Training
wow.
To his utmost limits, going as far as winning an entire Grail War by himself through the use of his class card. No master, straight dolo. It's absurd. In this case, he wouldn't even need the card. Through his fight with Shinji, we know that he can use Concho and Bakia.
Yeah, but I think the universes are different, no? Instead of servants, we have like cards where you can like use a card to like basically channel that class, right? So I don't think it's just like as simple as, oh, he won the Grail by beating all the other servants. I think it's different in the Ilya like Khalid, DJ Khaled universe, but yeah. It's still impressive nonetheless.
Tactics. He has high awareness, allowing him to get the upper hand several times. High agility. I mean, just between Emiya Alter, and Kiritsugu.
Yo, Emiya Alter? Oh shoot. What's the difference between Emiya Alter and just regular Emiya? Is just Emiya Alter is just Emiya in a cookout or something?
Alone, he would have access to 3 reality marbles. He would have a reality marble that he can impose on the world, time alter, which he can impose on himself, and then Emiya's reality marble, unlimited loss works, that he can impose.
Unlimited loss works?
On his weaponry, where the bullets would pierce his targets and release his blade works from the inside. And
that's broken.
Speaking of Emiya Alter, he would gain access to weapon manipulation. You know, Emiya Alter actually bent his swords into guns. So everything just falls.
He bent it like Hulk? Like, wow.
Line with Kiritsugu's training on teaching him how to use guns. If we look at Amakusa Shirou, which is a Shirou that was raised by Rize, he'd have extremely absurd reflexes, superhuman strength. He would have access to the holy weapons, including things like the Black Keys, different prayers, possibly one of Shirou's phantasms. He would have the training of somebody that's in the Holy Church, which would take his resolve through the roof. There'd be nothing that would really surprise him. You won't be able to trick him.
Okay, but can he beat Goku though? That's the main question. I'm just kidding. I know fans are gonna be like, yes, he can actually.
He's seen it all. Nothing's really too far beyond his training. He would also have access to the church's garments. You know, they have the Kevlar suits.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
You know, are reinforced with magecraft.
I was gonna say that.
Allows them to literally deflect bullets. It's practically a full-body bulletproof vest. And oh my goodness, this doesn't even include Muramasa, who's even hinted at Shirou being one of his descendants. In this case, Shirou would reach mastery in sword development, being able to create weapons that can break through concepts like Muramasa, having swords that can cut through things like fate and karma or immortality, maybe something that we haven't.
Bro has just been listing off things for the past 6 minutes and he has not stopped. Dang.
Yet. We know through Muramasa that he would reach a high level of swordsmanship because how else did he get it? Muramasa is just a blacksmith. Shirou would be the one with the skills, and Muramasa really be out here giving the business. We already know he was on the way there. He practiced kendo as much as he possibly could. You have the Emiya from the Extraverse, Nameless, who we know faces off against several servants. Some of these you can't really count because they're kind of watered down, but some of them you can, especially if the fate route is anything to go by. You know, he went up against Hurt and was able to kill him 6 times in a row, and by law, it had to be through 6 different methods. He is the last person that you will want to run into. There is a low possibility that he would gain Mystic Eyes because you have to remember, this is Shirou, and he is relentless. If he finds out about the Mystic Eyes collection train, he will make a contract just like he did with
I have no idea what any of this is. I'm pretty sure this is in the Lord Melioi case files, when this is like Fate, Sherlock Holmes. But yeah.
To get his own pair, if that means to help mankind. What else do we have? His body is made of swords, so just fighting him in regular combat would be at a disadvantage to the person that he's going against. He would still have Avalon inside of him, and with him being this perpetual machine, I'm sure he would be able to draw out his power without Saber even being around. His regeneration ability would be through the roof. You couldn't even measure it at that point. He's more than likely healing everything that he gets hit with. So if you plan to go against Shirou, you might want to take off one of those limbs, because that's the only way you're going to get in. And his projections would likely be on the level of Darius Ainsworth and his displacement.
This is insane.
Of all the time that he spent on it, where they would be even better than Emiya's. They would be so good that it might as well be the original weapon itself. He would have Kiritsugu's origin bullet.
Yep, origin bullet, yeah.
Which can literally self-destruct concepts altogether.
Yep.
We've even seen Kuro pull this off in the Prisma timeline. So this is actually one of those ideas that's more canon than it is speculation. From Nameless, we know that he's taking on Altera. In the process,
don't know what that is.
He made his contract with Tsiah. We know that he's faced several unnamed beasts and was able to survive. He took on Angelica, and although he was defeated, she had to go all out. So just to run this back,
listen, I know, like, he's trying to, by listing all these things off, he's very strong. All right, safe to say, like, massive understatement for him saying he's strong. But again, a lot of these characters I don't know.
Real quick,
but I'm sure the feats are impressive nonetheless.
People realize how ridiculous this actually is. He'd be an expert swordsman, expert marksman, master blacksmith prospect. He'd have multiple reality marbles, time manipulation, space manipulation, infinite amounts of energy, prospect mystic eyes. He'd be a master tactician, capable of defeating gods, a lifetime worth of fighting experience. He'd be immortal. His body wouldn't deteriorate,
as it should.
He'd have the ability to manufacture skills and weapons of some of the greatest heroes in history. I'm not gonna lie, this was actually disgusting to make. I'm disgusted. This is a level where you're so powerful that if you happen to lose, it would have to be something stupid. It'd have to be.
Yeah, it'd have to be plot armor.
It's almost like he's Darius without the drawbacks, but better. And if you've seen my displacement video, the shit that Darius was doing is out of line, and that took preparation. Shirou,
I gotta watch this. Whatever this is.
Preparation. So to answer your question, I'm glad this is not the case. Shirou would be absolutely busted. He would be one of the strongest people in the verse, period. No question.
I mean, he would be the strongest, no? Okay, I can't really think of any other character who would have had this loaded of a weapon arsenal, this loaded of a freaking mana reserve, and this loaded of a freaking just stats all around.
And a literal threat to society. Yeah. I can't do this.
That's how he ends it. I mean, okay, so he's very broken, very broken. Again, a lot of the feats that he was talking about, which are out of my zone, because my experience with Fate is very small compared to everyone else's, and this guy is a connoisseur with Fate and Fate scaling and Fate lore and knowledge. So take what he says a lot more seriously than mine, but I'm kind of just like, from my perspective, I'm just an outsider looking in, bro, because this is all crazy stuff here. To answer my joke of a question, I think he probably can. I think he probably can. If we're going off of what he's saying, he probably can. But I mean, yeah, this is a really interesting video. Again, like, a lot of it went over my head because my experience with Fate is not nearly as in depth as this guy, but still impressive nonetheless. I knew he was going to be broken to some degree, but I didn't know he'd be freaking God. But hey, okay, all right. So you compile everything. So I guess not even just Archer. this goes way beyond Archer at this point. Archer Emiya. This goes way beyond Archer Emiya. Archer Emiya is like freaking level 2, and the full max potential Shirou is like level 1,000. That's what it sounds like to me. But I mean, fantastic video nonetheless. I'm gonna leave a link at the top of the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace.